All
out.
right. Um, fuck a duck. Where is this? It says waiting for stream. Anyways,
Are we live yet?
yeah, we're live. Oh, sorry. Yes,
Oh,
I'm trying to get the links and everything
the
for the
links. All
different.
right. So
Yeah, the things. Fuck it.
the things. Yeah, the things, the things, the things.
And
Good
if
app.
we were monetized, we'd get demonetized because I just yelled "fuck it" within the first minute.
There you go. We apologize for Crazy B, but as is in her name, she's a little bit crazed today. And
I need a
I,
vacation.
yeah, and I just accidentally woke up. Uh,
You
I guess,
accidentally woke up on time.
yeah, I accidentally woke up on time with no alarm. And I told Crazy B, the way I fell asleep, I don't know what the heck was happening. I was doing research, and my phone is on my chest. I have a pillow that you can rotate in three different positions, and I have my tablet on it, and the tablet is sitting on my lap. And then the funniest thing is, I have not yet purchased my new power cords. So I am on a 1 foot power cord that I'm calling my leaf, and on my thigh is sitting a block that is the extension cord, and it has 5 wires coming out of it for my headset, the microphone. There's a power block. There's the 1 foot cord leash to the tablet, a extremely long cord for the phone that if you don't watch out, it will trip you and when you get up out of bed. What else? What else is going on? Um, I thank everybody for their thoughts and prayers for my brother-in-law. It's going to be a long process. I will not be going tomorrow. Tomorrow's the viewing, Saturday's the memorial, and Tuesday is the military honors. I probably will only be able to go to the memorial. I'd really like to do the military honors, which is on Tuesday. However, it's at the same place that my uncle was buried at, and the place is huge. It is absolutely breathtaking. I'll see if I can find a couple pictures from the service that we attended. When you
Uh-huh.
pull in, you don't think anything of the place. It just looks like a random, you think cemetery. And then you go up over the hill. It is absolutely breathtaking and sad all in the same
Mhm.
moment. You see hundreds of white tombstones. I can't even describe to you the feeling and the emotions that it brings. Uh, there are chapels throughout this. The place is huge, so there's chapels in certain areas, and each chapel holds, I'd probably say at least 100, maybe a little bit more. You could squeeze in there, and then they do a full military service with a military pastor. They do the cannons, the guns, sing. I mean, it is just absolutely gorgeous. When we took Jacob with us so he could see it, and it was so special because those servicemen were so. Hi, Blue Rose. Thanks for being here. Um, we took Jacob with us, and they were so kind to him. Uh-oh, I have static on my end. I'm using my
I thought it
headset.
was my end. I wasn't sure.
Wait, hold on. Let me move. Is that better? I moved my phone off of me. I
It
don't
might be
know.
because it's plugged in charging.
Okay, let me take it out because it's fully charged, and let me take the laptop. Let me take the tablet off too. All right. Does that make a difference?
I can't tell. Hold
All
on.
right. Let me keep talking a little bit, and we'll see. Let me move the power cord off because I figured it's probably charging me too. So what the hell?
Well, is it
Um,
charged enough to be able to go through this without a problem?
yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes. Hold on. Let me get rid of everything. All right.
I wanna
Everything's
make
on the.
sure I've got
Yep.
my sound up because it sounds for me, everything sounds quiet right now, and I don't know why. Oh, that's
Okay.
why.
There we go.
Okay.
And I also turned the volume up, so we'll see if that makes a difference. Um, so it's really beautiful, and they were absolutely fantastic with him. We have pictures
Mhm.
of them. It's a very moving service. The problem is because the place is so vast, the walking in that is just unbelievable. So unless I took the wheelchair, but that would just be a huge problem body wise. I would pay for that dearly. I could go
Yeah.
highly drugged. I could go, I guess, highly drugged and come home and get highly drugged, which I never really do because it really doesn't work. Unless I drank before. I really got to get a bottle of vodka. I'm telling you, I probably need to keep that in the house just when shit happens, you know. Oh, let's take a
Uh-huh.
shot. Let's take a shot and see if that works. But so it's gonna be a long week. Uh, and I feel bad. Uh, Mark is in a better place, you know, from the cancer and all of that. But I feel
Oh, Blue
bad for my.
says, still static.
Hmm.
Might have to be a
Okay.
go out and come back in.
Okay. Let me try that. I'll be right back.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's be patient and we'll see how this all goes. I honestly thought it was my end that was static, and I even swapped up my earbuds just to um, make sure it wasn't my end. That is, it is so odd the way this keeps happening. Um, oh boy, my allergies are killing me, folks. Be patient with me. Um, we're waiting on Dee to finish
Okay,
what she was
witches.
saying,
Okay, witches, I'm back.
and
Without
it
the head,
sounds a lot better to me. I don't know about
yeah,
anybody else.
without the headset on. So I disconnected from the headset.
Okay.
So we'll mess around with that later because that really belongs with the laptop. So I was hoping it'd make a difference, but whatever.
Yeah, I use my earbuds when I'm doing the lives for this.
Yeah.
And I use my wireless headset cuz it has like the dongle with the better with low latency so there's not a lot of lag in it.
Okay.
I use that for when I'm gaming cuz I like the spatial sound so I can hear something to the left or right in the game. Where in the podcast I don't need left or right speaking. So I can just use an earbud.
Thank you, Blue. Um,
Yep.
I have earbuds. I have 3 pair. I'll have to get those ones out that go behind my ears and try those. I do not like the ones that just go in your ears. No, I have one pair that I can't keep in for love nor money. It doesn't matter. As soon as I put them in, them suckers fall out. Then the other pair I have, I don't like them either. The only way I get them in is to twist them around, and they're uncomfortable. So, I'll try that other. I gotta find them though. I did
My
have the
daughter has to have a very specific style of the,
ear.
earbuds, like, you remember the old the earbuds, the wired ones that were just the
Yes,
little flat thing that go in the ear? That's
yes.
the only style she can use, but I can't use those because as soon as I start talking and the jaw movement happens, they pop out of my ear, and it's
Uh
so
huh.
frustrating. I have to use the ones that have the little curve to them, and it's got the little extension piece and the pluggy thingy
Oh, I
to
can't use them. That's what
I
that's
have
I
to.
yeah. I have to find that other set that I have. I don't know what I. Oh, I know where they're at. I took them to the hospital with me, so to the nursing home. That's where they're
They're
at.
in the
In the
bag.
bag. Yep, they're in the
That was
bag.
like 3 months ago or
Eh,
4 months ago.
I keep. I have a. I have. It's called my go-to bag. So when I go to the hospital, or if it's an emergency and then somebody
It's your
follows
go
through.
bag.
Yep, that my bag's ready to go. I have, let's see, unmentionables in there. No, I have my underwear is in there. I have deodorants, shampoos, all that stuff.
Mhm.
So that I'm always ready to go. In fact, I'm looking at.
Because we all know the hospital stuff is garbage, especially
Oh,
if you
big
have bad
time,
skin.
big time.
Oh, it is a nightmare. I
Yep.
hate it.
So I have my own lotions and stuff to put my hair up, and all kind of stuff is in there, and it's heavy too. That's the funny thing, you know. Uh, go try to pick it up, and Eric's like, "What the hell do you have in here?" Hey JJ,
Hey,
so
JJ.
first to hit the rumble like just came from Outlaw Dogs. Well, thank you for joining us this afternoon. We're glad to have you.
Very
Oh,
glad.
yes. You know what? I just realized.
What?
Uh we went over everything for the show today, and I hope you still have everything in order because it's on my. I'd have to.
I got it.
Thank
I
you.
have it in a completely separate tab in the order that we're planning to cover it. I have
Thank
the
you, ma'am.
video already primed. I have the first article already primed, and then we'll go from there.
Awesome. Uh,
I'm on the ball for a minute. You should have seen me yesterday. That was funny. I'm trying to figure it out, and I couldn't get it because, why
well,
should my brain work?
you only made me stay up till what, like 4 a.m. And
Well,
then,
yeah,
oh, you
that
know
was
what?
funny, though.
You know
That was
what?
funny.
It wasn't funny because I
I
forgot
should
all
have just
about it.
left. I
Wait,
should have said, "What are you talking about?" I really
yeah,
should have.
yeah,
Go ahead.
bitch,
Tell them what's
bitch,
going on because I
yeah,
can't
bitch.
stop laughing.
You know what? You go ahead. I forgot all about that. I ought to kick your freaking ass. You thought, oh my God, I was in such a fucking panic, man. It's not funny.
Yes,
You,
it is. I'm
no, it
wheezing over
wasn't.
here. I'm raspy and
Yeah.
squeaky because of my allergies, but I am still laughing my ass off
Oh,
because I
yeah,
have a
that's right.
nebulizer with albuterol primed.
Yeah, you go ahead. That's right. I forgot all about that because I was so involved in trying to get things together today. Yeah, right. Oh my God.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have to explain it because I can't stop laughing.
Yeah, go ahead. You keep laughing. So I did all of this work from 1 through, I don't know, 20 with subsets, paragraphs, articles, YouTube videos. All this stuff is in this shared
And
document
a
we
bullet
have.
points, basically. Basic
Yes,
bullet points.
yes. Bullet points with subsets. You name it, it was there. All of a sudden, I start typing. I send her this note that says, uh, I don't know what the hell I don't even know. Now I'm
You
all
couldn't
shook up
find what
again.
you were wondering why your links didn't
Yes,
work.
I couldn't get the links to work. Everything showed up blue, but when I went to click on the link didn't open up. So I was all panicked about that. So I sent her a message thinking that she is going to tell me in the morning what is wrong. And I'm like, Why can't I open these links? What's up? She goes, don't worry about it. I'll fix it in the morning. I'm like, okay, I'll calm down. So I continue to do research. So I'm putting stuff into the file, and the next thing you know, every mother effing thing disappears. It's gone. Yeah. What'd she do? She picked it up and moved it all and fixed it, but didn't say a word to me. And I then, in a panic, start DMing her, oh my God, what happened to all this work I did? Blah, 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 blah. And she's laughing hysterically. Yeah.
I literally said I'm refraining from saying, "What are you talking about?"
Uh huh. Yeah, she was going to say, what are you talking about? To lead me to believe, hi, outlaw dogs, nice to
I
have
outlaw.
you. They've raided the
I can't
stream.
talk.
Oh no, here
Um,
we go.
I can't talk, but keep going.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So she was going to say, what happened to all your work, Dee? I don't know where it disappeared to. And I would have had, as I told her, when
This
my
is at
youngest
like
was
three,
little,
2 o'clock in the morning.
no, it was like it was
Oh no,
closer
it
to
was 11
4.
at night.
Yeah.
No,
And
it was 11 o'clock at night. It was just before Danny was already asleep, and you continued adding to it though
oh, at 4
afterwards.
a.m. I don't know what time it is. I just
But
freaking woke
either
up.
way,
What do you expect? I just woke up. And so she's like, she's laughing and she's like, oh, I moved it. Yeah. Yeah, I did say
yes,
other effing things. Do you know that phrase, JJ? Yeah, I did say that instead of the actual word that I wanted to say. We just changed it to mother
I'm the
effing things.
sailor. She's the nun.
Yeah. Honest to goodness, if you would have seen my face, I, I I can't even describe to you all the freaking work that I had done, and it was gone. And she just picked it all up and took it and didn't say a freaking word to me. Are you kidding me? Yeah, uh-huh. And look, she can't help herself.
I can't.
Yeah.
It's too fucking
Thanks,
funny.
JJ. Love you guys too. Yeah. Uh-huh. She thought that was the funniest thing to torment me. Uh-huh. Some friend she is, I'll tell you. With a friend like that, I don't need any enemies. Jeez, man.
Well, it really
Well,
wasn't gone. It's
that's
just
as
you
bad
didn't
as waste.
recognize that it was in the we have our show
Right.
notes in a work setup. So it has multiple show notes as one document, but in separate tabs to jump to them. So it's all in one place. And I just moved it from one to the other.
Yeah. But even remember in the shared document,
Uh-huh.
what about not even seeing? She goes to me,
Oh,
did
yeah.
you, yeah,
You're
did
trying
you
to
look?
tell me it's in the drive, and I'm like, "No, it's gotta be in the document." So I go and okay, so it's in the show notes, but it's for the off days where we're not covering a specific topic instead of in the actual topic notes, and yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, yeah, it was fun at my expense. And then she's like, do you see on the bottom left where all of the
No,
tabs are? Oh,
I
yeah, go
didn't say
ahead,
it
Blue
so
Rose.
sarcastically. I just said, "Look to your left,"
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and there
Look,
it is.
there's Blue because she knows the story of the big black wasp. Yeah.
Yep.
That, yeah. As I was getting ready to finally fall asleep, what happens? I can't see for shit. Yeah, giggling is contagious. Oh, crazy. Oh, she's making you crack up. I'm glad you're amused, JJ. So then it's like after 4 o'clock, and I'm getting ready to turn off the bedroom light, and I can't see for shit. But I'm telling you guys, I could spot the tiniest bug anywhere. I'm afraid of bugs. I can't kill. Well, I'm getting a little bit better at killing things, only because I like to project strength in front of Jacob. So I am getting better. But there was this black thing, and I have a pitch ceiling, so the ceiling's high, and the ceiling's white and the walls are tan. I see this black thing out of the corner of my eye. And I'm like, oh, what the frick is that? Except I said the bad word. And I'm like, where's the bug spray? I can't find the frickin' bug spray. What do? We go to the bleach bottle spray. I sprayed it. I'm like, what the hell is it? I can't tell what it is. It starts walking down the wall. I'm like, oh no, this shit ain't happening. I sprayed it again. It comes across the wall. I still can't tell what it is. I'm like, I'm going to hit the wall again with bleach. Eric's going to kill me when he sees how bad I messed up the walls. So I sprayed it again. It lands on my frickin' dresser. I have so much shit on my dresser because we don't have the master closet or bathroom done. So I have makeup on there. I have my jewelry's on there. I have hairspray, deodorant. I'm like, where is this son of a bitch at?
You know how you
I'm
kill it?
lifting,
The
yeah,
hairspray and a lighter.
I should have. I'm picking stuff up with my finger and my forefinger, moving things like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I finally found it. I smashed that son of a bitch. I then sprayed it again with bleach, even
It's
though
already dead. You smashed it.
I know, but I just in case there were eggs or it was going to come back to life, I sprayed it with bleach. I put
Oh my
paper
god.
towels on top of it. I sprayed the paper towels with bleach. I put another paper towel on it, and then I set the bleach bottle on it. So Eric brought me a cup of tea, and I'm like, hey, babe, you see that over there? He goes, D, when? Just when? He goes, it's dead already. Why? Why? Why couldn't you just wipe the body away? I'm like, I killed it. I mean, that's a step in the right direction, isn't it?
I mean,
So then,
technically.
wait, and then here's the best part is I don't have a three-way light bulb right now. So I usually like to have a low light on because of having to get out of bed, and I got the foot guard at the bottom of the bed, and I don't want to misstep or do whatever. But we literally are the oasis in the desert. So when the light is on, everything and everything can come into the house. And what did I do? I took a beach towel and I covered up the lamp as best I could to get a low level light. I don't think I fell asleep till 5:30. And then he got
Oh
me
my
up at
god.
6:30, and it's just been like a day between you tormenting me, the bug tormenting me, and the crap that I find. No wonder why I fell asleep. You're lucky I woke up in time. I have that internal drive to the show must go on. And I woke up in time to get here. So, oh, I'm
Oh
telling you.
god.
And I'm glad that I could amuse you. And you do know what they say, don't you? You do know.
Karma's a bitch, and when you
No,
die, you're
no,
gonna come
not
back and haunt.
karma. No, payback is a bitch. That means
Same
I will
thing.
come for you one day. Don't worry, you'll get yours, girl. You're gonna get it. Oh, that
I
was
am so
freaking
good at
funny.
this. It is fun, but but at least I didn't let you go on thinking it just
Oh my
vanished and
god.
you
I
lost all
was
your hard work. I
Yep.
behaved myself. I refrained. I
Um,
was
I am
behaving.
so glad you were under control.
I really didn't want to be,
I know you didn't. That's the bad part. Oh, it
but
was
it was a
funny.
lot of freaking fun in the process.
Oh god. I just about had a freaking heart attack.
Nothing will stop D.
Oh no. Oh, it was funny.
I am so
And then
sorry.
it
My
was so
voice is all
bad.
fucked up today.
Yeah, then it was so bad. I think it was like around 12:38 or some shit like that. I'm like, I didn't take any of my nighttime meds. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I got to now set an alarm or have somebody remind me that I have to take my medicine 'cause it was too late at that point. I couldn't take my nighttime meds, so I had to
Yep.
wait till this morning, and, no wonder why I fell asleep. I'm just glad that when fell asleep that I usually don't thrash around because electronics woulda went everywhere, you know?
Oh, I toss and turn like a damn rotisserie chicken in a cement mixer. I
Oh,
mean,
no.
like, I am
Tho
all over the place.
no, those days are gone. Now that I'm held together with the pig bladder and worried about being called Miss Daisy, I'm usually pretty chill, so, hell.
Ugh.
It's been a fun day.
It has, and it started really early.
Yes, it did. I'm crying, man. I'm dying between you and the bug.
You had a hell of a night.
I don't want another one. But the first
Right,
thing I did was
sweet.
after the bug situation, I forgot. I went out and I ordered the three-way bulb to be delivered today. So hopefully it arrives today. Uh,
Fingers crossed.
yeah. If not, I have this stupid bird. It's a wooden bird that the body lights up, but it's USB, and I could connect that, I guess. But
I mean, if you really have to,
right,
it's better than nothing.
right. But I'd rather have the light bulb. So
You
hopefully
know what you should
it'll
have
get.
instead of a light bulb is one of those bug zappers
You
hanging
know
in your
what?
room.
Don't. Hey, I looked for a three-way bug bulb. I found. Don't laugh. I
Too
found
late.
well, there was issues. Here was the first issue. Number 1, they wanted $69 for it,
Oh,
okay?
fuck no.
Okay. The second thing I thought about was, "Huh, when I go out and I try to put makeup on or whatever, it's gonna cast a yellow haze towards me, and
Unless
I
you
could
get one of the
really end
purple
up looking
ones.
like a clown by the time I left with my makeup." Uh, so I was like, "Shit, I better not do that." Colors might start turning different or whatever. And then they do have, believe it or not, indoor bug zapper bulbs. But I was like, "Oh hell no," because then that light bulb would attract everything, and I'd be laying in
But
bed.
it's also gonna kill it too, and then
Yeah,
you
but
don't
I don't want them
to.
coming in the house just to fly by me to get to the light to be zapped to death.
No, they're not gonna come in just for that. It just attracts the ones that are already in the house.
I don't know about that. I told you we're the oasis in the desert. Everything wants in. You don't realize that. The mice
No, you're
want
just
in.
the open buffet
Yes,
because, it's
that's
a
true.
house.
Right. I told you the story of, we have the crawl space to get up to the attic. We have not been up there since, hmm, let's say the early 2000s, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I know for a fact that there's squirrels living up there. And I told Eric to go up and set a trap and to catch them. And he's like, "No, I'm not going up there." And I'm like, "Well, why not?" He goes, "'Cause if they're up there, they're gonna jump on my head." And I'm like, "Oh my god." That's the
They're gonna
funniest
run the second he
I
opens the
know, but that's
door.
the funniest thing I ever heard. I'm like, "What are they doing? They're all gonna be standing around and you lift the wooden thing up or whatever
Oh,
it's
it's a
called."
squirrel army. It's a
Yeah.
squirrel army with a bunch of twigs to poke him in the eye and the nose when he comes up
No,
there.
no, I envision him popping his head up in there and them all jumping on his head. That's what I envision, you know? Like they're going to be waiting for him, right? I said to him, "Well, if you're worried, why don't you just take the cage and put the cage up in front of you?" He's like, "Oh no, because they could still jump on my head." I said, "So,
Oh,
well, forget about it." So we probably have, I don't know how many things living up in the attic. And I'd be afraid to open up any of the walls. I mean, oh my gosh.
oh god.
It's
And you know what's funny is that if we buy this place, we are gonna have to pull the paneling down and put up drywall, so I will have to pull down walls, one
oh,
room at a time.
well, maybe that's when you'll get your payback with the spiders that you despise. Yeah,
I won't
yeah. Hmm.
I'll be sitting there with a baseball bat ready to smack the closest one.
Yeah, and then you're gonna what
And
are
they're
you gonna
not
do?
spiders, they're eight-legged spawns of Satan.
Yeah, and then you're gonna hit them with the bat, and what's gonna happen? You're gonna bust through the outside of the house. It'll be like, "Dee, there's a hole in my wall. I can see outside." We're gonna put windows in. Yeah, that'll
We got
be.
an extra window
Yeah,
now.
there you go.
Or if it's low to the ground, I do need more electric sockets in each room.
There you go.
And I know how to run that shit.
Yeah.
So,
So it's been a
oh god. It's been
strange.
a fun day.
Yeah, it has. And I don't want another one, please. I need a rest day.
Oh,
Oh,
don't get me started on them, JJ. Oh no. Those ones are no.
what's a camel spider? It has a hump
Um
on it, and it can go for days without water.
no, they're just they're
I never.
I'm not
What
looking
is
it
a
up because
camel
I'm terrified of
spider?
this shit. You're going to have to look it up on your own. I'm not.
What is a camel spider? Just tell me. What
Google
is
it.
it?
It is a
No,
very big
come on.
fucking spider. Google it. Look how
Uh,
big these fuckers are.
Are they bigger than
It's a
wolf
desert
Wait,
spider.
are they bigger than wolf spiders?
Oh yes.
Come on. I never
You're
heard of a
talking tarantula size or bigger.
I've never heard of a camel spider. Come
They're
on.
over in the Middle East. Go Google.
I'm
I,
Googling
I
it right now.
I'm not looking at
Oh,
those pictures.
what the frick is that? What? And
Now
it
you
can
know why I
wait,
don't like these
wait, wait,
bastards.
wait. It has a maximum speed of 9.9 miles per hour. And it, oh my God, I'm freaking put this
Why
up.
do you think I said I'm not
Wait,
looking this shit up? You can
okay,
look it up
I
on your
am.
own.
Put it up right now. I'm sending it right now.
No, I don't want to
Yes,
see it.
you can put it up without looking at it.
No, I can't. I got to
Yes, you
share my
can.
screen.
You can do it. I'm sending it to you. Put it up on the show right now. This is JJ's fault. Put it up. Hold on. Wait, I didn't get a better pic. I got to get a better picture of it. Oh my
I don't
God.
like these things. I don't like the eat-legged spawns of Satan.
Wait, they're
Oh,
called.
they're also in Arizona?
Wait, they're
Oh,
called.
hell
Wait.
no.
Oh, come on now. They're called sun spiders.
And they're known
Also,
for attacking.
okay, put this up.
Mm-mm. I don't like these
Yep.
fuckers.
9.9 miles an hour. Shit. I don't think I could get my bleach bottle to it fast enough. Okay, there it is. It's in your DMs. Put it up. And
One
then,
second.
okay, now we're going to go to this because the first time I encountered this man, I ran because this
Okay.
sucker.
Give me a
Okay.
second. Um,
Hmm,
Hold on. I don't like these things, and it's gonna be on my screen. You're
don't
doing
look.
this on purpose.
Don't look.
I have to. It's too fucking small. I gotta zoom this shit in.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I got to get a better picture of this one. Goodbye, Siri.
Yes.
Now, okay. This is what I encountered when I first moved into my home. Okay, this one's coming next. Put this one up. I think this
You
one is
love.
worse than.
This is your revenge. I'm telling everyone. This is her revenge.
Okay, why isn't this Okay, there it goes. Put up the second one. This
Huh,
is what I
damn.
encountered when I first moved into the home and went to the basement to do laundry. And I am not lying. This thing reared up on its
Uh-huh.
back legs and had them two front legs like it was going to come and attack me like a crab.
I
I
have
I
them down
laughed.
here too.
Oh my gosh. I don't know which is
Uh-huh.
worse. I don't know
Oh, we
how
have brown
fast the wolf.
recluses as well in my
Yeah,
area.
I don't know how
Mm.
fast a wolf spider travels. Let's see. Uh,
Oh, I
how
don't
many
need to
miles?
know this. All I
Yeah,
know
you
is
do. So you can
he's gonna
run.
load up the BB gun and shoot the motherfucker if I see it.
Get out of here. They can go up to 10 miles an hour. Holy shit. I'll bet these things are faster than some humans. Oh my
I
gosh.
don't like them for very good reasons.
I could send you videos that we could watch them.
I'm with Blue Rose right there. I mean, I can handle all kinds of things. Okay, I can handle centipedes. I can handle snakes. Hell, put me in with a rattlesnake. I know what the fuck to do. Do not put me in with the eight-legged spawns of Satan. My
Hmm.
dad burned spiders and tarantulas. Oh, I couldn't live where tarantulas are or scorpions. I'm highly allergic to bee venom, and since scorpions have a concentrated bee type venom, it would kill me. Like instant. I'm out. So no scorpions for me, and hell no to the tarantulas. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
Blue, your
Nope.
dad burned spiders? Oh, you have tarantulas there?
Uh huh.
Oh no. Well, the
Hmm.
the issue with the bugs became when I was young and an ant's nest was moving through the yard, which we had a huge yard, and it went down over the hill and into a cemetery. And they were on the march, and it was somebody's birthday, and I opened up the box to get a piece of birthday cake, and it was covered in ants, and ants were everywhere. And we found that they were making the new nest, right next to the house. Well, my dad dug it up, poured gas on it, lit it on fire, and that night I went to bed and dreamt they were coming to get me. Okay, here's JJ. I was at a hotel in Arizona, and the hotel's cook came in from the back door of the kitchen when I was in the restaurant floor, and he said a camel spider ran to him.
He was out on a cigarette break.
What, do you want a drink of water?
I don't know, and I ain't sticking around to frickin' ask. I'd be like, "Peace out, bitch," or I'd pull out the 9 millimeter, and that thing's going bye bye.
There we go.
And cops, come at me. I'm telling you, that was a deadly threat, and I needed to protect myself.
Hmm. Oh my gosh, too funny. Man, we're really off target now, aren't we?
Oh, we're 37 minutes in, and we haven't even
Oh,
come to the first topic.
oh God. This is why we're named Wrecked Sisters, because we are just a frickin' mess.
We literally spend about 30 minutes of our entire episodes just having fun laughing and
Oh,
kicking things around and being goofballs.
oh my gosh, too frickin' funny.
I say, yeah. That's just how we roll. People don't like it, they don't have to watch. We just
Right,
have fun.
right.
That's the whole point of this, is have fun.
Oh God. Yep. I'll save the fish story for tomorrow. That
Now
was,
I'm curious. There's a fish story too?
yeah, I'll save that for tomorrow. What's our first topic? What do we got up?
Uh, Dr. Fauci being investigated. If you want to read the
Haha.
article for
Mhm.
the sake of my voice, I
I
would
can do
greatly
it. Yeah.
appreciate it.
I have
Do
to
you need
laugh
me to
because,
enlarge this?
yes, just a tad. I have to laugh because I sent it over as happy. And she's like, "What the heck are you talking about, happy?" And I'm like, "Finally, we're going to try to get this son of a bitch." Uh, so Tulsi Gabbard confirms that there is a probe into Fauci's role in funding the Wuhan gain of function research tied to COVID. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard on Thursday said she had created a special team group, and they're called the Directors Initiative Group. And I find that kind of fascinating in of itself. Would that be similar to the a special counsel almost? Would you think?
Um, yeah, it could be.
And I wonder who's part of it because I'm not sure. We'll see if they say. But it's known as the Directors Initiative Group, which is investigating Dr. Fauci for perjury and his role in funding Wuhan gain of function research tied to COVID 19. In a podcast on The Megyn Kelly Show, Gabbard said, "I created kind of a special teams group, the Directors Initiative Group, that is focused on investigating a number of the president's top priorities and the things that the American people really deserve and want to know the truth about the origins of COVID 19 is one of them. So they're actively working on that. A lot of the work that has been done is on covid.gov.
Oh, sorry.
That's
I
okay.
got a text message.
Uh,
Did you want to read the tweet or?
no, I think, okay, keep going. During the scroll up. During the
Yeah.
pandemic, Dr.
Oops.
Fauci became the face of the US COVID 19 response. He was questioned about National Institute of Health (NIH) funding for virology research at the Wuhan lab. The US based organization EcoHealth Alliance was awarded a grant in 2014 from the NIH to look into possible coronaviruses from bats. Some funds were given to the Wuhan Institute of Virology in an agreement that was terminated in April of 2020. Would you scroll up, please?
Yep.
Thank you. Over the revamping of COVID.gov website, host Megan Kelly said the older website was annoying to watch. YouTube and all social media used to refer people with Fauci talking points. The DNI also noted that Jay Bhattacharya, the new NIH director with Secretary Kennedy, is looking at the gain of function research that, in the case of the Wuhan lab, as well as many others around many of these other biolabs around the world, was actually US funded and leads to this dangerous kind of research that in many examples has resulted in either a pandemic or some other major health crisis. Responding to a query whether it is true that it was Peter Daszak's research with the Wuhan that caused this pandemic, then US did fund it. Then Anthony Fauci helped fund the pandemic, Gabbard said. We are working on that with Jay Bhattacharya and look forward to being able to share that hopefully very soon. Okay, that specific link correct. Between the gain of function and what we saw with COVID 19, things that he denied over and over and scroll up, please.
Oh, too far.
Let's oh and over to Senator Rand Paul's questioning under oath. So is it any wonder that he sought a preemptive pardon for anything during a certain period of time by President? It is pertinent to mention that Dr. Fauci, during the Senate hearing on May 11th, 2021, had told under oath that the NIH never carried out gain of function research in Wuhan. And the reason why this is so important is not just what happened in the past, it's because it is gain of function research is happening in biolabs around the world. I got attacked, and I think you saw this. We've previously talked about it on your show before when I warned against US funded biolabs in Ukraine when the Russian Ukraine war kicked off for this very reason. Who knows what kinds of pathogens are in these labs, and if released, could create another COVID like pandemic. And for that, I was called a Russian asset. You're trumpeting Putin's talking points. All of this nonsense simply for speaking the truth and stating facts that, by the way, are, I can't see that word, will
Still on
show on the
the.
U.S. Embassy Ukraine's website today about how the U.S. has funded these biolabs in Ukraine. But my point is, in order to prevent another COVID like pandemic or another major health incident that could affect us in the world, we have to end this gain of function research and provide the evidence that shows exactly why and how it's in our best interest, the American people's best interest, to bring about an end to it, she added.
And that's it.
I
So,
wish,
yeah.
I hope that they get him. I hope, where is Deborah Burke in this? Where is,
Hmm.
what's her name from the CDC at the time? Is it Rachel, Rochelle? Shit, I can't
Whatever
think.
her last name is that
Yeah,
I don't
whatever
like.
her name is. She needs to. The three of them.
Uh huh.
The three of them all need to be in jail. I don't give a
I
shit.
absolutely agree.
All three for what they did, and just not even from gain of function, from having the country shut down because every day there was a freaking press conference and we were glued to the TV to listen to the three of them of what we needed to do.
Oh, it's not even just then. Does everyone remember all of the times he's cried wolf?
Hmm.
Just I actually that's part of the video we have here is I sped it up and I got it down to 15 minutes. It's a bit of a biography and his works. Do
Yes.
if
Yeah. Why
so
don't
I
we?
figure
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
pull
look at
this up. And the channel is Forgotten History. I've used him before on questions that need answers. Really good historian. I like this historian. He's a good guy. He has an entire series on corrupt people. I want to use him for a video on three specific, well, an entire family. But let's hit play and listen to this craziness.
Anthony Stephen Fauci was born on December 24, 1940, in Brooklyn, New York, the second child of first generation Italian American parents, Eugenia and Stephen. He worked the cash register or made deliveries for his father's pharmacy to make extra money. Fauci attended Regis High School in Manhattan and was captain of the basketball team. He then studied as a pre-medical student at the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts. After graduating first in his class from the New York City's Cornell Medical College in 1966, he completed his internship and residency at New York Hospital Cornell Medical Center. Fauci began his extensive career at the National Institute of
Hmm.
Health's National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease in 1968 and briefly worked as chief resident at the New York Hospital Cornell Medical Center from 1970 to 71. He was a senior investigator in the Laboratory of Clinical Investigation, starting groundbreaking research in immunoregulation and developed successful drug regimens for polyarteritis nodosa, granulomatosis, and polyangiitis, and lymphomatoid granulomatosis. Fauci helped George W. Bush develop the president's emergency plan for AIDS relief focused on combating the disease in Africa and other parts of the developing world upon its launch in 2003. He gained a reputation for handling the West Nile virus under President Bill Clinton, the anthrax scare and SARS under Bush, and the swine flu epidemic under Barack Obama. However, Fauci was also supposedly investing in these drug companies, which is legal but may have had later unintended consequences. But Fauci's history goes way back in a very controversial way. In May 1983, during the AIDS crisis, a theory about the new disease was published by Fauci in the Journal of the American Medical Association. A UPI report on May 5, 1983 cited Fauci, "Household contacts can transmit AIDS." The Associated Press asked the next day, "Does AIDS spread by routine contact?" and quoted Fauci as their lead authority. The New York Times also asked about transmission between family members, citing Fauci's article as the source. Fauci was then appointed director of the NIAID in 1984 and played a key role in HIV/AIDS research, for which he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2008. Fauci led the National Institutes of Health funded research testing AIDS drugs on hundreds of foster children for 2 decades, often without providing them a basic protection afforded in federal law and required by some states, meaning they were not of the age of consent. In the 1990s,
So not only was he experimenting on people, he was using foster kids, the most vulnerable in our population,
That is just wild.
for 20 years. I just, this
What
is a
what
fact.
is
I
what
was
is
able to
what is
find
the,
this, and I got silenced on platforms for providing that
right?
information.
What is what is the word? Yeah, the thing. When is it like a Munchausen's thing? That's what I'm looking for. Would that be it?
Um,
Similar?
not in his
Not,
case. No, in his case, it's more of like a God complex.
okay, so it's more than that. So
Yeah, my mom was more of a
yeah.
Munchausen's by proxy,
Okay.
where they intentionally make the kids sick for the attention from the doctors and people in the area, um, you know, for the attention of being a parent of a sick kid.
Mhm.
Um, and it has varying degrees. But in Fauci's case, he just had a God complex where he's going to do whatever he has to find this cure so he can be the god of it, and everyone thanks him and worships him. And the thing is there was major breakthroughs mostly in the early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
not so much the 80s and 90s. Yes, get me a bowl, please.
One, I'm impressed that I remembered that Munchausen's, that I was able to, get that out of the file
Uh-huh.
quickly. But two, was he just he was spreading it actually as well, correct, in Africa?
That is rumored, but that some of the foster kids were intentionally given it to test the drugs, but I did not find proof of it.
Okay.
But it has been rumored. And
Okay.
trust me, in 2020, I dug in head first and got stuck to the tip of my toes in that rabbit hole. Actually, I think my toes might have gone under. Um, and I got kicked off of multiple platforms, multiple suspensions for just providing the articles that other newspapers and stuff had used back
Right.
in the day.
Right.
Yes,
All right.
just
Go.
gonna point this out. So, um, yeah, and luckily this guy saves you from the pictures that I actually did see, thanks to the articles and the studies that were done. So
Wow.
that I read through. But let's hit play.
In the 1990s, foster care agencies sought treatment for their HIV-infected children, not yet available in the marketplace. The foster children ranged from infants to late teens, according to interviews and government records, and exposed the children to medical research and drugs that were known to have serious side effects in adults and for which the safety in children was unknown. In one study, researchers reported a disturbing higher death rate among children who took higher doses of a drug. That study was unable to determine a safe and effective dosage. Press accounts mentioned Fauci's article immediately sounded the alarm. Reminiscent of Dr. Joseph Mengele, Fauci had unfettered reign experimenting on children with AIDS who were in the foster care system. Many would argue that Fauci's methods, then and recently, as well as the Biden administration, violated the Nuremberg codes established after World War II. In one study, researchers reported a disturbing higher death rate among children who took
Hold on
higher
a
doses
second,
of a drug.
Crazy
That
Pete.
study was
Hold
unable to
on.
determine.
Hold up. Hold up.
I just paused it.
Did they say Biden?
Yeah, this was in the 2021, 2022, 2023.
Oh, okay. I thought it was maybe earlier when he was a senator.
Oh, yeah, actually, when he was under vice presidency,
Oh, the VP and
the
okay. Yeah,
presidency.
he would have been a
Fauci
senator. Yeah.
Fauci has been in this appointed position since I was born.
Wow.
42 years. Well, no, 40 years because he resigned a year and a half ago. So what, 41 and a half?
Yeah.
He was in that position. Reagan to Biden.
Wow.
That is a long time
That's
to be
alarming.
unchallenged.
Yes, it is.
Just want to point this out. And I'm not saying everything is his fault. I'm
Yeah.
not
And
pointing
then
anything as wrong, just my
and
personal
then they're gonna
experience and
yeah,
personal memories.
and then they're gonna say, Trump has a godlike complex and wants to become the dictator of the country. Okay.
Yeah, I can think of
Yeah.
someone who was doing that medically, but
Yeah. Uh-huh. Right.
again, this guy did not get kicked off of YouTube for this, so we're just discussing it.
Correct.
Um, no, I don't want any of that. Well, yeah, it would. Actually, you know what? Put a little bit in a bowl for me. I apologize. My son's offering me potato chips and Tostino's dip, the cheese and queso with the black beans in it. Oh,
Oh,
it does have black beans in it, honey. And he doesn't like beans sometimes, so I apologize. I got sidetracked. But yeah, um, we're not giving medical advice. We're not giving legal
we're
advice. We are
we're
not
just
giving
reviewing.
any advice
Correct. We are just reviewing the footage. Uh,
available to us
that's correct.
and adding a little bit of context from our own personal memories and times.
And experience. Correct. Go ahead, hit it.
So, all right.
To determine a safe and effective dosage as well. In 1983, the government established special protections for children in foster care or orphanages and required researchers and oversight boards to appoint independent advocates for any child being treated that involved greater than minimal risk and lacked the promise of direct benefit. Some foster agencies required the protection regardless of risks and benefits. Researchers and foster agencies told AP that foster children in AIDS drug trials often weren't given such advocates, even though research institutions many times promised to do so to gain access to the children, and Fauci knew it. Illinois officials believe none of their nearly 200 foster children in AIDS studies got independent monitors, even though researchers signed a document guaranteeing the appointment of an advocate for each individual ward participating in their respective medical research. Fauci did not care. New York City could find records showing 142, less than a third of the 465 foster children in AIDS drug trials, got such monitors, even though city policy required them. The city has asked an outside firm to investigate. Some states declined to participate in medical experiments. Tennessee, its foster care rules prohibit enlisting children in such trials. California requires a judge's order. Sometimes foster parents or biological parents were consulted, other times not. Wisconsin never allowed clinical experiments with children in the foster care system. Officials estimated that 5% to 10% of the 13,878 children enrolled in pediatric AIDS studies funded by NIH since the late 1980s were in foster care. Some children were taken off the drug dapsone because of serious toxicity. Others developed rashes, and the rates of death and blood toxicity were significantly higher in children who took the medicine daily rather than weekly. At least 10 children died from a variety of causes, including 4 from blood poisoning, and researchers said they were unable to determine a safe, useful dosage. They said the deaths didn't appear to be directly attributable to dapsone, but nonetheless were disturbing. We now know, of course, that Fauci's theory on transmission was wrong. HIV, the virus that was later discovered to cause AIDS, is only transmitted by exposure to infected body fluids, such as blood or by sexual contact. The infant infection involved direct transmission from the mother to child during pregnancy. Fauci then totally changed his position, and he told the Baltimore Sun, "It is absolutely preposterous to suggest that AIDS can be contracted through normal social contact, like being in the same room with someone or sitting on a bus with them. The poor gays have received a very raw deal on this." Less than 2 months after his JAMA article appeared, Fauci publicly contradicted himself without ever acknowledging his own vital role in promoting the false claim to begin with. This was
I want to point out, I know people, like older than me who were in their teens and 20s when this happened, and they knew people who directly died or were mistreated because of Fauci.
That's crazy.
Because of his advice, a bunch of gay teens and stuff and people they knew had been kicked out of their homes because their parents were terrified.
Wow. Well, I mean, you remember the AIDS scare. It was just as bad as the COVID scare, right?
Uh-huh. It was just as bad. And remember the swine flu?
Yes. Yep.
Everybody was in a panic about that one, too.
Yep.
Just pointing out my memories and people I know who know
and,
people.
And there is, I do believe, we can go find it, that Fauci did say that during Trump's second presidency, something was going to happen.
He said the same thing about the first one.
I know. I'm just saying. He made a statement that something's going to happen. And we can dig that up and show that.
Something's going to happen and more people will die without me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You have to take me back. You need my help. Yeah, who knows?
Uh-huh.
You know, and with the Ukraine situation, we knew that there was the bio lab there. What happened and where is the shit? Who has it?
Bingo. And what other countries?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
What about all the labs in the United States that have leaks?
Yes.
All these college labs and stuff.
I thought a new lab was going to be created too somewhere, if I recall.
Oh, remember when all those monkeys broke loose in North Carolina?
Yes.
What was it, a year and a half ago?
Yep. From the
Where
lab.
are they?
Yep.
Oh, they didn't get them all. That's right.
That's right. Wow.
They assume a predator picked it off or would. But, you know, okay.
All right.
Let's hit play.
This would not be the last time Fauci would change his position to be politically expedient. But it would be the COVID crisis that would bring Fauci into the public eye for many reasons. As the disease began spreading, Fauci's commentary on COVID-19 given to CNN on January 24th, 2020, took place the day after the Wuhan region of China went into draconian lockdown. Asked about the Chinese government's decision, Fauci declared, "That's something that I don't think we could possibly do in the United States. I can't imagine shutting down New York or Los Angeles. That opinion would change." Fauci, for reasons yet unknown, rejected Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's assertion that the virus originated in a Chinese lab. Then social media began shutting down anyone, including leading researchers and medical experts.
Okay, did that say he went on CNN in January of 2020?
Yes, he did.
Okay. You tell me why in December of 19, Old Navy was selling Old Navy masks.
Anyone want to tell me why I had symptoms and
Like,
an illness exactly like it?
yes.
And all they could tell me was it was an unknown upper respiratory infection.
Uh-huh. My son up in New York had it 3 times. They kept saying, oh, it was pneumonia or an upper respiratory infection.
Before we knew the word COVID or
Okay,
coronavirus.
that's fine.
Hmm.
Why did Old Navy at Christmas time, why were they selling Old Navy printed masks? How did they know? All
Uh-huh.
right. A company does not just arbitrarily go and say, oh, I'm going to do this for the community. They freaking knew it ahead of time.
Because it wasn't even publicly released until January of 2020.
Correct. That's correct.
There was
You
no
tell,
public knowledge of it.
yeah, you tell me how. I think the word is coercion. No, that's not the right word. What's the word? Collusion is the word we're looking
Uh-huh.
at. Yep. Go ahead.
Yep, so January of 2020. Here we go.
Experts who also agreed that the lab leak was the source. Despite Fauci's initial statement that shutdowns were not required, he again changed his mind. He said, historically, when you shut things down, it doesn't have a major effect, which was Fauci's position during the 2014 Ebola outbreak. A recently resurfaced interview on NBC shows Fauci warning against draconian quarantine measures for Ebola and chastising several state governors for enacting hasty emergency restrictions to contain an outbreak in the United States without considering the unintended consequences. But then Fauci decided shutdowns were a great idea, a decision accepted, which destroyed the U.S. economy as well as education. But then President Trump launched Operation Warp Speed to have the research labs develop a vaccine for COVID. Fauci, already in deep with the big pharma companies, led the charge, although there were no double-blind or placebo studies as required by the Food and Drug Administration, the first time in history. When Trump cited others in the medical community who stated the proven anti-malaria drug hydroxychloroquine and the drug ivermectin were adequate treatments, Fauci disagreed. These cheap, effective drugs, later proven to be highly effective, were denied to the American public at large. Later, it was learned that those involved in pushing the free Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and Pfizer vaccines were getting massive kickbacks. That would explain why they did not want hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin used. When the Trump administration declared that the country could reopen by Easter, Fauci convinced him to scrap that timeline. COVID-19 vaccines were responsible for a variety of side effects, including pain, redness, or swelling at the injection site, tiredness, headache, muscle pain, chills, fever, pericarditis, thrombosis, myocarditis, arrhythmias, hypertension, acute coronary syndrome, cardiac arrest, and anemia and nausea. Circulatory problems, blood clots, respiratory failure, organ damage, and death were also a result. Big Pharma has immunity from liability due to injury or death from these unproven drugs, but these were to be taken by consenting adults, at least until the Biden administration. The government requirement for immunization was passed on as a strong suggestion to private industry. Tens of millions of people who were wary of the drugs took these initial shots for fear of losing their jobs. Even the military was affected, and many personnel were discharged if they refused. In 2014, EcoHealth received a 5-year, $3.7 million grant from the NIAID to collect and analyze bat coronaviruses in China. At a minimum, EcoHealth's experiments should have been forwarded to the HHS for review. They did not. We now know this is not true. NIAID told EcoHealth to stop its experiments because they violated the then-existent pause on gain-of-function research. The novel coronavirus SARS-CoV-2 has since caused approximately 170 million cases and 3.5 million deaths. Fauci said that no gain-of-function was being performed, but when evidence proved otherwise and it surfaced, he said that we can't expect to really know all of what's going on at a lab receiving U.S. taxpayer funding. Now remember, previously, Fauci had denied that any taxpayer money had gone to fund anything along these lines in China at the Wuhan clinic. Lawrence A. Tabak, NIH Principal Deputy Director, noted in a letter to Congress that the terms of the grant award required EcoHealth to immediately report a 1 log increase in growth, a tenfold increase, and it failed to do so. The specific language dated in 2016 was, should any of the MERS-like or SARS-like chimeras generated under this grant show evidence of enhanced virus growth greater than 1 log over the parental backbone strain, you must stop all experiments. Tabak confessed at a House subcommittee hearing that the U.S. government had indeed funded dangerous research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, which modified bat coronaviruses shortly before the outbreak began in late 2019. In April 2021, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control paused the Johnson & Johnson vaccine out of abundance of caution after a small number of people who received the J&J vaccine developed thrombosis and thrombocytopenia syndrome, a blood clotting disorder. I, your humble narrator, had 2 friends who died after getting the second and third shot respectively of these symptoms. Additionally, the FDA updated the fact sheet for the J&J COVID-19 vaccine and added Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare disorder that occurs when a person's immune system damages nerve cells and causes muscle weakness or paralysis as a risk of the vaccine. On June 1st, 2023, the FDA revoked the J&J vaccine's emergency use authorization. Total sales of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine surpassed $80 billion, and more than 400 million doses of the shot and subsequent boosters have been administered in the U.S. alone. Under oath, Fauci said that taxpayers and the government agencies such as National Institutes of Health and NIAID has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Rand Paul held Fauci culpable for research done in the Wuhan, China lab, which Paul believes triggered the viral outbreak. Fauci actually reaffirmed the shocking suspicion in his testimony that the 6 feet apart social distancing recommendation that he promoted was arbitrary, not based on science, and sort of just appeared. Conclusively, the select subcommittee held Dr. Fauci publicly accountable for pandemic-era failures, and Fauci changed his story under oath in both House and Senate hearings and lied under oath several times when questioned by Republican Senators Rand Paul and Ted Cruz, but he was protected by the Biden administration's Department of Justice and Attorney General Merrick Garland. This was further proven when treasure troves of documents and emails uncovered by congressional investigators and investigative journalists established that the NIAID was in fact funding gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan lab via a grant to the scandal-plagued nonprofit EcoHealth Alliance, which the Biden administration had just debarred from receiving federal funding. Part of the evidence was when Anthony Fauci sent an email to prominent virologist Dr. Jeremy Farrar in February 2020 and discussed a phone call that Fauci had with virologist Dr. Kristen Anderson discussing concerns about a lab leak. This contradicts Fauci previously stating the lab leak was impossible. Dr. Fauci showed no remorse for the millions of lives affected by his divisive rhetoric and his unscientific policies. He never apologized to the thousands of Americans who lost their jobs if they refused the vaccine, nor did he apologize to children experiencing severe learning loss because of actions he promoted. When confronted with the evidence against him, Fauci confirmed that his senior advisor, Dr. David Morens, had in fact violated official NIH policies and potentially broke federal law. Dr. Morens deliberately obstructed the select subcommittee's investigation into the origins of COVID-19, meaning the lab leak and unlawfully deleted federal COVID-19 records, and shared non-public information about National Institutes of Health grant processes with his best friend, EcoHealth Alliance Incorporated President Dr. Peter Daszak. Dr. Fauci maintained his misleading claim that the NIH never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan. In 2021, he told Senator Rand Paul that the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, repeating his earlier testimony.
And I remember as this was happening, every time there was a Senate hearing, and even before I moved down here to Kentucky, I was a fan of Rand Paul because of this. I just want to point that out. Even before that, he was someone I could tolerate. And I remember people getting all mad saying, well, he's an ophthalmologist. He's just an eye doctor. Eye doctors have to go through the same medical training as a cardiologist or any other doctor, and they have to keep up with it. They have to keep up with their medical training because they do cataract surgery.
Correct.
If they do cataract surgery, they have to be aware of stuff. They're allowed to treat diabetes. If the only problem that patient has is that they have diabetic retinopathy, they can control the diabetes. No other doctor needs to be involved. Just pointing this out. So he's a good doctor for questioning all of this. Oh, hold on, I see something. He mentioned Chimera in the year 2000. Mission Impossible 2 was released. Chimera was the subject of the movie. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Actually, go ahead. Finish what you're saying, that I got
I was
more to
just
add
going
to
to
this.
say, I vaguely remember that.
And I've been watching older TV shows like The Dead Zone and Travelers and a bunch of other ones. Do you know how many episodes came out? Anywhere from 2000 to 2016. Each series had at least one episode that covered a viral or bacterial outbreak
Mm-hmm.
that would wipe out the planet. I have watched so many old shows about this that you wouldn't have thought about it back when they came out. Oh, it's just an episode. And then when you live through it and you look back at it and you're like, oh my God, that's a playbook of literally what the F just happened to us.
Uh-huh.
I found it very intriguing, and I actually sent the info about which episode and stuff to a few friends who went and rewatched it, and they're like, "Yeah, that's exactly what it was." So, yeah, it's not the first time this has happened. It's funny how that works, though. Um, Let me hit play.
testimony that was a lie. Then, amazingly, Fauci doubled down on his previous claim by stating the NIH did not fund gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. He stated this publicly. Notably, former acting NIH director Dr. Lawrence Tabak told the select subcommittee recently that the NIH did in fact fund gain-of-function research in Wuhan, contradicting Fauci. Following the many fiery exchanges between Fauci and members of the various committees where he lied under oath and the emails and documents proving it, NIH quietly removed the Wuhan lab from its list of approved animal labs. Documents were discovered showing the Wuhan lab conspired with the NIH and EHA to violate a federal ban on gain-of-function experiments that was put in place by the Obama-Biden administration in 2014. Now, as all of this was unfolding for 3 years, Fauci unleashed attacks against anyone in the professional community who challenged his assertions and decisions. He used his influence to shut down dissenting voices, using his progressive allies in the social and mainstream media and government to do so. But facts are very disturbing things. Documents published in late 2021 by The Intercept revealed that the EcoHealth Alliance used grants from Fauci's agency to fund Wuhan Institute of Virology experiments that modified 3 bat coronaviruses distinct from COVID-19. Senator Tom Cotton, Republican of Arkansas, stated in an address, last week this agency admitted that they had, in fact, funded gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. History should judge him as a deficient person who made one of the worst decisions in public health history in the entire history of the world, Rand Paul said of the former chief White House medical advisor during an interview on WABC 770 AM's The Katz Roundtable. Paul continued, for his dishonesty, frankly, he should go to prison, he told host John Katzimatidis. Do you think the scientific knowledge that was gained from this research is worth the deaths of 20 million people? The New York Post reported back in January of 2024 that Rand Paul said Dr. Fauci should go to prison for mishandling the COVID-19 pandemic and making the worst decision ever made by a public health official in the history of time. Rand Paul cited the Government Accountability Office report in June 2023 that found the National Institutes of Health had contributed more than $1.4 million to Chinese research institutions between 2014 and 2019, despite serious biosafety concerns, including at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Dr. Fauci then corrected his previous testimony that his staff did not possess conflicts of interest. During his transcribed interview, he claimed, the only people that I'm involved with is my own staff, who we've mentioned many times in this discussion, who don't have a conflict of interest. During his testimony, he changed his position, testifying that Dr. Morans definitely had a conflict of interest. Dr. Fauci then publicly changed his mind that the lab leak hypothesis was possible and not a conspiracy theory in his statement to Representative Jim Jordan, Republican of Ohio, and he falsely claimed that he has kept an open mind about the origins of the pandemic. This again contradicts the publication of the now infamous Proximal Origin paper that attempted to vilify and disprove the lab leak hypothesis to protect Fauci and his illegal activities. But there was yet another scandal involving Fauci that surfaced in October 2021 when Republican U.S. House Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina tweeted a letter she sent to Fauci referencing documents obtained via a Freedom of Information Act request from WCW. WCW claimed that from October 2018 to February 2019, Fauci ordered cruel and unusual drug toxicity tests on dogs that cost taxpayers $1.68 million. In a third report, WCW claimed that NIAID funded more than 375.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's not
forgot
the
about
first
the
time, though.
dogs. I forgot about the
Hmm.
dogs.
Yep. I was a little bit pissed, and they were beagles, in case anyone
Yep.
wants to know. Hmm.
They use them for their calm demeanor.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, they had their vocal cords clipped,
Yep,
so they
so that
couldn't
they
bark
couldn't
and
bark.
whine and yip.
Yep.
I forgot to add that, and I think he forgot it. Or chose not to, because, there's already enough that's wrong with what Fauci has done. And, and again, yes, we had a pandemic. Yes, it was all odd and everything else, but would we have ever had one if he had never funded this?
Hell no. What do you think? That's an. What scares me is there's 3 other ones out there
Hmm.
potentially that could be unleashed.
But here's the thing. That wasn't the first time COVID got loose in
Right.
in the world. We've
Right.
had COVID outbreaks over the years here in America, but nothing like that.
Correct. And I mean,
So COVID wasn't novel to us, really,
and
if you think
yeah,
about it.
and remember all the things that happened along with that. Look at what
Hmm.
Cuomo did, the governor, how he shipped all these sick people in with senior citizens in nursing homes because the hospitals
Uh-huh.
were overflowed. And then again, from my lovely state, the Deputy Do Surgeon General, he, she, whatever the frick you want to call it, uh, he did the same thing. He moved his mother out of the nursing home back to his home before they did all the shit that they did. Yeah. Uh huh.
Michigan did the same thing.
Hmm.
Actually, there was an incident in Michigan where they had sent a man with mental illness to the nursing home because he had COVID, and he ended up attacking his roommate, who was just some 80, 90-year-old little man and did nothing wrong for no reason because the guy had mental illness and he was just dumped in a nursing home because he had COVID and the hospitals were full.
Yeah. And remember the seniors or the sick that were in nursing homes, you weren't permitted to visit. Remember the
Hmm.
pictures of them standing at a window
Yep.
and a grandparent would be there and the child's hand would be on the outside? Yeah. Uh huh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. That's all okay, right? Okay.
I won't go into my theories as to why I think this is. We could talk about that on the Discord server,
Yeah.
but I have actual reasons why I think all of this happened. I really personally do believe that I think it was an intentional leak, not an accidental, but that's a whole later story.
Yeah. I agree with you. And
I'm in the
that's
middle of a
why
live stream. Do not interrupt.
and that's
Okay,
why
let me go ahead.
yeah, and that's why when he made that statement, and I'll try to find it for tomorrow, where he said, "Watch, something's going to happen during Trump's second presidency.
Mhm.
There's going to be some type of outbreak." Yeah, he said
Mhm.
it. He said it.
Cuz it's planned.
Mm-hmm.
What else could it be?
Go ahead and hit play. I'll see if I can find it right now.
Okay.
$75,000 to $424,000 to conduct a study that again used beagles as test subjects in experiments involving sandflies that the organization described as torture. The documents outlined both the proposed study design as well as the actual results of the study, the latter of which resulted in 40 beagles between the ages of 8 and 9 months being administered oral and subcutaneous doses of an unnamed HIV therapeutic between September 2018 and October 2019. Dogs were euthanized following the study and their organs were analyzed for potential toxicity from the drugs. The horrendous beagle experiments totaled more than $1.8 million paid by taxpayers and had no congressional knowledge or oversight. Fauci was also the highest paid government official in history and made millions from kickbacks from the drug companies. He escaped and evaded criminal charges under Biden and retired with the taxpayers footing the $15 million per year bill for his personal security and protection team. Now that we have a new administration, let's see that stripped away and see that Dr. Fauci gets a few weeks in court.
I couldn't agree more. Put the motherfudger in court. I want to see how he stands up. And I'm not trying to be mean. I just want the truth. For once, can we have the damn truth? Oh, you're still looking for
I'm
that video.
there.
That's right.
I don't know what to say. I'm kind of speechless. It brings a lot out. Uh, hmm,
Uh huh.
I
Oh, it
don't,
does.
yeah, I don't really know what to say.
I know. And while you're looking for that, what do you need, darling? Oh, nothing? Okay.
There's
I,
a lot to go through. I can't get it on my phone right now.
we'll get it later
Yeah,
then.
we'll get it later and talk about it. We'll put it up for tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
So next we have um this one that you wanted to cover.
Oh, yeah, it's an interesting one. So this is I don't know if many of you know or not, but the Parkland shooter survivor David Hogg, who had become an activist, was voted into the DNC, the head national Democratic National headquarters. Now he is being ousted following investigation into how he was elected. Uh,
Mhm.
so there's a current picture of him. I've watched him. I watched when they took the vote for all of the people, and the vote in of itself was crazy. If you go back and watch it, they actually stopped. I won't go into detail. You need to pull it down and see if you can find it. But they stopped the vote to have a certain type of person in a position. Um, if you want to, can you play that video or no?
Hmm.
Okay, let's
Yeah, I
see
can.
what that. Yeah, let's see what that says.
Let's pause it. It's only 29 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, no. That's not the one. I got to refresh the page. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Now I
He's
can.
being paid to run against other Democrats. I think it's an outrage. I don't know if I have standing, but I might give the DNC $10 and sue him. He's a contemptible little twerp, if you ask me.
Jim, I'll have you on the show to talk about it.
Yeah, I might. I don't know if I have standing, but somebody can stand him.
Exactly what the Democrats do and why they continue to lose. They don't believe in allowing Democrats pick who should lead them.
Yes.
He's right. He's young, he's smart, and he's going to be around, and this is only going to elevate him. And the whole thing he's saying is, if you're old and not working to win a majority, you ought to leave. There's no reason Nancy Pelosi is still around.
DNC voids HOGG election over gender diversity rule?
That aren't going to
Yes.
get him in the majority. Schumer can't even
Kidding.
get to her.
No, I'm
McCain
not.
can't make a
That's
decision.
what it was about. Go ahead, scroll up.
Ideology or
Okay, now they're on to the next topic.
Right.
Oh, hold on. How do
Can
I
you
close
zoom?
this?
Yeah, can you zoom in just a tad?
I can. How do I close this so it doesn't show up? Oh, it's gonna be a bitch. You watch.
Okay, leave it little. Go down. Okay,
No. I want the video out of the way.
I
I hate
see.
the video.
A
Anyways, just
Democratic,
go ahead.
a Democratic National Committee panel has found that gun control activist David Hogg and a colleague were not properly elected to be among its 5 vice chairs earlier this year, paving the way for their removal. Hogg, 25, rose to national prominence after surviving the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida on February 14, 2018, and co founding March for Our Lives. He has since become a vocal political commentator, critical of President Donald Trump and the Democratic Party's failure to earn the trust of the electorate. Hogg made waves last month by announcing that his new organization, Leaders We Deserve, co funded with Kevin Latta, the former campaign manager of Florida Representative Maxwell Alejandro Frost, the first Gen Z member of Congress, intends to support primary challengers to out of touch, ineffective House Democrats occupying safe congressional seats that, it believes, has not done enough to oppose the Trump administration. In what has already been interpreted as an attack on that strategy, the DNC's Credentials Committee on Monday upheld a complaint brought by Oklahoma activist Kaylin Free, who lost out on one of the vice chair positions in February 1 elections, and subsequently accused the DNC of breaking its own rules on gender diversity, potentially invalidating the elections of Hogg and Malcolm Kenyatta. A full DNC vote will now be held on the committee's findings, which could mean new elections being staged with the same 5 candidates, including Hogg and Kenyatta, on the ballot once again. While this vote was based on how the DNC conducted its officers' elections, which I had nothing to do with, it is also impossible to ignore the broader context of my work to reform the party which loomed large over this vote, Hogg responded in a statement. I ran to be the DNC vice chair to help make the Democratic Party better, not to defend an indefensible status quo that has caused voters in almost every demographic group to move away from us. The DNC has pledged to remove me, and this vote has provided an avenue to fast track that effort. Kenyatta also reacted strongly, calling it a slap in the face and complaining that he had worked his ass off to get this role and have done the job every day since I've held it. He also rejected media framing of the ruling as an internal effort to oust HOGG, saying the story was not only his colleague, even though he clearly wants it to be. For his part, DNC Chairman Ken Martin said, "I am disappointed to learn that before I became chair, there was a procedural error in the February vice chair elections. It was very clear when they did the elections what happened.
Uh-huh.
The Credentials Committee had issued their recommendation, and I trust the DNC members will carefully review the committee's resolution and resolve this matter fairly. I thank all of the officers for their service, including Vice Chairs Kenyatta and Hogg, and look forward to continuing to work with them in their officer post as this matter is resolved." Before Monday's ruling, Martin had posted on X, "I am more committed than ever to introduce the date of structural reforms, then enshrine these values into official rules of the Democratic Party. These reforms will require all party officers, including myself, to remain neutral in primaries. They will ensure no party official can abuse their position to tilt the outcome of an election. Whether you're a challenger or an incumbent, 18 or 80, the rules must apply equally. Do I have opinions? Of course. But when you lead the institution tasked with calling the balls and strikes, you don't get to also swing the bat." His thread could likewise be construed as a rebuke of Hogg, whose plans to put heat under Democrats he considers complacent has ruffled the feathers of party elders, most notably Bill Clinton's former strategist James Carville, who labeled him a contemptible little twerp, in a News Nation interview before changing his tune.
I do love that he called him a twerp. A
Yeah,
contemptible little twerp.
yes,
That's
yeah,
awesome. Good
yes.
wording there.
Uh, so
Oh,
they,
he says I have
yeah,
a video of Dr. David Martin explaining the history of Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta find that and possibly bring it up for a later video.
okay. We could even throw that to questions that need answers too.
Uh-huh.
Uh, that would be appropriate, I think, as well. So as I said, when they did wish I would have pulled the video, but there was a certain point in time when they went to do the vote that the person that was conducting the balloting stopped in the middle of the procedure and looked around and was like, "I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." And he turns and he goes, "Here, you do it." And he handed it off to somebody else to take care of. And I think that's where that procedural error occurred,
Oh,
because they
wow.
they came back and they didn't know, they had this slot left that they weren't sure on how to fill it because it required a DEI type position. And it was a pretty wild thing that happened. I'm surprised it's taken this long to get to this point. But uh, these are the reason for this story is at 25, these are the future party leaders that we're going to see.
Mhm.
And, you know, that are potentially going to be able to get into Congress or
Scary.
state or local. And what havoc can they wreak without being, in my opinion, knowledgeable on certain things. I'm sure the shooting incident he suffers probably, and again, this is not medical.
Oh,
I'm
he's
not a
got to have
doctor.
PTSD, and it
Exactly.
explains why he's against guns, and I can
Mhm.
actually understand his perspective because of it, but I don't agree with him,
Right. Uh,
even though I understand.
and you know, him and his father, when it happened, you can go back and watch videos. I mean, they were just out there. Uh, and I think their hatred for Trump uh, just emulated because of gun control, etc.
Well, it's tragic events
Yes,
that lead to activists.
exactly.
S
I mean,
I
look
get
at,
it.
yeah. I mean, we still don't know things about, the Las Vegas shooting the nightclub shooting.
We probably never will, by the way.
Exactly.
We're
Uh-huh.
just gonna leave that one alone because that will get us MIA'd in a field
Mm-hmm.
in Antarctica.
Yep.
And yes, there are no fields in Antarctica. It'll be a cornfield in Antarctica.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was important that people start to realize that the younger people will be coming into the fold, and
And we need to be careful of them.
that's a good way to end the segment. All right, what's up next?
Um, we have the ICE arrest. I do have 2 videos for that, but we really will not have time to cover them today. Um,
Okay. What, we have a half an hour left?
yeah, one is 15 minutes, the other was 6 minutes. I mean, we can start the shorter one,
Okay, why don't we
and,
do that?
if we need to, we can, the second one will just be in the description no matter what, so,
Okay.
um, but I do have the article pulled up. um Whoops, I had the article pulled up, but then I accidentally stupidly closed the tab because, my brain and all.
It's down there in the bottom left-hand corner.
No, my brain went out. My brain's somewhere in the living room hiding under the couch with the dust bunnies.
Uh, Actually, I just DM'd you. It just came as breaking news. What happened to the mayor, I believe. Uh,
You did. I will pull this up right now.
yeah, why don't we do that instead of this one?
Okay, and I will add the link to the show notes. Give me
See
one
how I'm on
second
the
while I
ball
do
like
that.
that? Aren't you impressed how I'm on the ball? That ain't happening every day. Don't expect it.
God,
Okay.
I hate my hands. Give me a second. I
Okay.
hit the wrong letter.
La la
Okay.
la 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 la. Okay, so Newark Mayor Roz Baraka appears in court after ICE arrested him outside the Delaney Hall. Newark Mayor Roz Baraka appeared in federal court for a status conference Thursday following his arrest outside an immigration and custom enforcement facility last week. The procedural hearing lasted about 30 minutes and was mostly rooted in the initial discovery. It's just the beginning of Baraka's legal battle, with both sides making it clear they are not backing down. A group of demonstrators rallied in support of the mayor outside the courthouse, and the crowd shouted at federal prosecutors as they entered the building. "We believe I was targeted in this. I was the only person arrested. I was the only person identified. I was the only person they put in a cell," Baraka said after the hearing. "This is
I
wrong."
have something to add to that.
Okay. "This is wrong.
Because
It
he
is,
was the freaking ringleader.
this is wrong. It is unjust. It is undemocratic. It is unpatriotic. It is un American. The mayor's among the Democratic committee candidates running for governor of New Jersey." You want to
Yeah.
hit read more?
Oh.
Go
We
down.
can.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even see the read more part. I'm
that's
so
okay.
sorry.
ICE agents
You
took
talk about
Baraka
your
into
eyes.
custody. ICE agents took Baraka into custody on trespassing charges last Friday outside Delaney Hall, a detention center that opened just weeks ago. The mayor, along with other lawmakers and immigration advocates, have said the 1,000-bed facility did not obtain the necessary permits and blocked inspections. The Department of Homeland Security denies those allegations. Baraka told ABC News New York he was not at Delaney Hall that day to protest, but to support members of New Jersey's congressional delegation who were there to tour the facility. The mayor of Newark, Roz Baraka, committed trespass and ignored multiple warnings from Homeland Security investigations to remove himself from the ICE detention center in Newark, New Jersey this afternoon. U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, Alina Habba, wrote on social media after his arrest. The mayor pushed back, saying he was invited and stayed for over an hour. "We didn't storm the place. All of it is a lie," he said last week. Somebody allowed me to go in. Would you scroll up? I didn't climb a fence. I didn't kick the door down. He was held in custody for 4 hours before being released. The trespassing charge carries a maximum sentence of 30 days in prison. Okay, and then do you want to show the 6-minute video?
Yep, after you see what JJ just said to you.
Oh, thank you. There. Okay, hold on. So, with Dee forgetting to take the nightly meds, she is on the ball and on top of it, so to speak. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. See if there is a pattern. Miss the meds to see if it improves your performance on the show. Well, we could be on the ball for maybe, I don't know how long. If we don't take the meds, we could possibly, having a cremation occur. We won't go into a lot of detail. The meds are necessary. I don't know. We'll see. We'll mess around with it.
I'm trying to
Anyway,
find the video.
okay.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Where the hell did it go?
It's in the order that I put it.
Not that.
Oh, this
No,
is
I
your
know the
video.
link. The video I downloaded and edited the worst part, just the main parts. I kept the
Gotcha.
main parts. Um,
Maybe I need to skip the nightly meds and you need to take them.
oh my God. You watch, it's in the wrong spot. Did I dump it in the wrong spot?
Do you want to throw the other
Yes,
article
I
up?
did. I actually did.
Okay.
Both of them were in the wrong spot. Sorry. I hope if D is missing meds, it
That's the problem.
is a
It is central.
detriment. Yep.
Yeah, it is. That's the problem. Yep.
Okay. Get rid of that. Open this. Do this.
I'm on
Hit
the ball
play.
because no, the truth is I'm on the ball because I actually slept. That's the truth.
And I lied. It's only 3 minutes.
Okay. Go for it.
Here we go. This
Oh
is what
wait, hold on.
POC had to.
Yeah, and hold on. This is a friend of ours, Lou Valentino. You can check him out on LV Nation as well as the LV Nation. So both Crazy B and myself know Lou quite well.
All right, here we go.
Jillian, so we've seen at least 2 ambulances try to pull into this ICE detention facility here in Newark, New Jersey. One was right here through these gates, and they turned that ambulance away. Why? Because if they open up these gates all the way, like they did on Friday, then they're afraid people are going to kind of rush through. So right now you're looking at a group of people who have been out here for a few hours that are kind of blocking the gates. They're saying they're not going to allow anybody to come back in. These are clergy members who they say are trying to stick up for whoever is inside of this ICE detention facility. I know you guys see now.
Yeah, so that's the coverage from it. They are turning ambulances away from entering the facility. What? Okay, so let me get this straight. China and the United States have come up with a deal of a 90-day reset for the tariffs, which is a great thing. The stock market is booming, jobs coming back to America. Let's see, we have peace deals between India and Pakistan. We have peace deal in Gaza. We have Trump returning Hamas refugee. We have Hamas. He was detained by Hamas and he was released because Trump ended up, bringing him home by working with the Qataris. There is so much good things happening, but Democrats are stuck on the behalf of illegal immigration. Mind you, where was this energy when Obama was deporting a whole bunch of millions of people? Where was this energy when Clinton was deporting millions of people? I don't think Democrats are ever going to win another election again. Now let's go to AOC, right? Because AOC is melting down over the fact that, right, we're awaiting these arrests. They should be coming this week for the assaulting of officers, law enforcement, ICE agents, where congressmen and women are literally believing that they are not to be touched because they are members of Congress, which again goes to my opinion that members of Congress think that they're untouchable. These people steal your money, they steal taxpayer dollars, they do all this crazy stuff, and they think that they're above the law, literally. So we're going to get to that. But again, when you round it all up, this is what Democrats are worried about. They're worried about like illegal immigration.
Okay. When did Republicans start protesting things? When did Republicans pull fire alarms to stop hearings? When did Republicans do any of this?
That's what I'm saying. And anybody that is listening to this, I don't care at what point in time, leave a comment somewhere, either in the comments when you watch either live or after the fact, or in our Discord, and you show me where Republicans are doing this. Now, hold up. I will
Mm-hmm.
say that I have seen Republicans gather over bridge passes with American flags, waving flags, if you want to call that some type of inciting a riot. Uh, I know that they have dispersed when the police have shown up. I have witnessed that at least 3 times in my area where
Mm-hmm.
people have gathered with American flags over bridge passes. So,
But
as
that's
far
not
as that goes,
politicians interfering with the Democrats doing their thing or the police doing their thing. They're not interfering.
right, they're not
These
stopping
people
traffic.
prevented ambulances from getting into an
Right,
ICE detention center.
right. Yeah, they don't stop traffic or anything. They stay to the berm of the road, hugging the
Mm-hmm.
bridge. Uh, I wouldn't do that.
So it's not the same thing.
Right. I'd be afraid I'd
Show me
fall
a
over. Right.
yeah, show me a Republican who pulled an alarm or did something to prevent a committee hearing.
Right. Or screamed while hearings were going on.
Yeah,
Again, I don't. I want to see that behavior somewhere. Please, somebody, send us if you see something. We will cover it. We are not immune
I want
to.
it. I'm
Yeah, we want to
begging for
see
it.
it. Yeah, we want to see it.
I'm trying to make this unbiased. The problem is the footage doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Let me hit play.
Protecting people and doing all this. Like, anyways, long story short, AOC is freaking out about the fact that people are about to be arrested. Take a listen.
And now what DHS is trying to say, again, they're using public intimidation because they know that they cannot come for us all. They know that they cannot come for us all. And recently what they said is that DHS is allegedly looking into arresting members of Congress who were showing up for their legal and constitutional obligation to conduct oversight. If anyone's breaking the law in this situation,
you cannot conduct an oversight thing without giving notice. If I remember correctly, because they had that problem when it came to the J6
Correct.
defendants.
Right.
They had to give notice that they wanted to come in and do this. Happened when they wanted to check the border and the border cages under
Yep.
Trump 1.0 that were actually Obama cages, but they had to give notice they were coming. You can't just show up. She's full of shit. You cannot just show up. It has to be scheduled. Anyways, anything to add?
No, I agree.
Okay.
it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem. You lay a finger on someone, on Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman, on Representative, or any of the representatives that were there, you lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem. Because the people who are breaking the law are the people who are not abiding.
Hold on. JJ, that's because I have it play. Yes, I have it playing back at 1.5 speed because I wanted to break it down from like a 17-minute video to a watchable video. And so I cut out stuff where he was talking about other people and got it to the main points. Blue Rose, AOC gives me a headache. You're not alone.
Hey, Blue Rose. And Blue Rose is well aware of LV Nation is in the house.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me get through this last minute.
Abiding by it. And it is enshrined in the law that members of Congress who show up to ICE and CBP facilities are required to be granted access, legally required to be granted access. And they legally cannot.
They, again, have to schedule it. They cannot just randomly show up. It doesn't work that way. But let's continue.
Be inhibited from accessing these facilities to conduct.
What were they doing there? So AOC is realizing that this is the panic that I was talking about. This is one of the party leaders, by the way, for the Democrats. She's realizing that she has to frame it this way. We saw the video. I don't know. Did you guys see the videos of like LaMonica? I think that was her name. And the mayor of New Jersey as well, why he was arrested in the first place? Like, are you guys like, we have eyes. We see what's going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, AOC is urging Democrats to break into the ICE detention centers, claiming it is their legal and constitutional right, and that the DHS can't come for us all. She's inciting crime. And then today, what happened? This is what's happening. You got people singing out
there. Okay, I cut it at there. Yeah. It's really messed up what's going on right now. It really, truly is messed up.
And this was the second, I believe, attempt at that facility where they were demonstrating. There's a video going around of an older woman holding up the sign love, and she's blowing kisses into a van that is kind of blackened out or whatever.
Yeah,
and it
tinted
has
up.
the bars on it, right? With whomever is in it. It could be one person, maybe there's 10 people in there, who knows? She doesn't even know what the frick she is blowing kisses to.
Yeah.
And she's holding up, and she is right up on the van that needs to get into the facility. They had to back up and leave.
And here's the problem I have with that. That could have been a cartel member who had skinned someone alive,
Yeah,
flayed them.
exactly.
Could have been someone who got rid
Yeah.
of the body with
Yeah.
lye and acid.
I mean,
does she know anything about these people?
It's absolutely crazy. It is absolutely unbelievable. They all should have been arrested, in my opinion. When you saw
Watch my video on what the cartels are like. Well, my week's worth of videos.
when you see when they were holding hands, right, barring entry into the facility, they all should have been arrested right then and there. Right?
I mean, I hate to say it. Yes, it's a government
Oh, hello,
land.
beautiful. How are you? Good. Say hello to the
Oh.
audience.
Hello.
Say hi. That's Crazy B.
Hi.
Blue Rose is in the
Hi.
audience. We have a friend named JJ is in the audience, just like your baby brother. We got Jacob in the house.
Hello, Jacob.
Can you see what that says? No, wrecked sisters. And who's that?
You.
That's Nene, huh? Give me a kiss. You got to stick around until the groceries get here. Go eat dinner, and when they get here, I'm calling you back.
Oh, JJ said hi. And so did Blue Rose.
Blue Rose said hi to you, and so did JJ.
Yep.
Okay, call you what?
Call me when the
groceries get here. Yeah. You got it. Later. Hey, back. Hold on. Secret handshake's going on.
That's
Later,
all
baby.
right.
Go eat dinner. I love you. Bye. All right, go ahead. My my mean squeeze was here.
I figured since we only got like 12 minutes left, give or take.
Yeah.
Do we want to just talk?
Yeah, pull that the other article back up though. I want to take a quick gander through it. We don't got to necessarily read the whole thing, but I want to.
Okay, yeah, I'll pull it up.
I want to see that for a second.
Hold on, let me get this. I hate how long it takes to actually do it. That's what's frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Do what? You better watch how you say things. So these were the protesters. Crazy B, scroll up a little bit. Can you hit that video there? Can you play that?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the clergy that were.
Get off of her! Get your hand off of her!
I feel bad for the cops. They're really going with the stuff from the 60s.
Well, most
Really?
of them, yeah, most of them are. When you look at the videos, they are
Oh, you
elderly.
have the older people from that era.
The older liberal Democrats. They've lost their freaking minds.
Yeah, JJ called them lunatics.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yes.
there's still a few more seconds. Do you want me to
Okay.
push through play?
I don't know what's on there. That's okay. Just scroll down a little bit and let's see what so that was the story about the protesters and the mayor was arrested.
The
Uh
mayor claimed he was the only one arrested and nobody else was. He lied.
Correct. Two other protesters were arrested. So how do you how do you get the truth out when he gets arrested and I just read what he said?
Mhm.
And this is being
I
this
still have it up.
right. Wasn't that on CBS News? Is that where that was?
Yeah.
Okay,
That
so
was
that's
CBS News.
okay, so he's a mm,
He says, "I
liar.
believe I was targeted. I was the only person arrested." Boom, right here. Look, look, right here. Oh, no, hold on, right here. I was the only person identified. I was the only person put in a cell.
So he's a liar. And that came out
And
the
here we
day
have a man and a woman were out arrested.
right, and that came out the day after that all three of them were arrested, and then he puts this statement out. This goes out on CBS News, and it is a lie. And how do we prevent this shit from occurring?
Mhm.
It is just
Oh, no, wait, this happened Monday. Okay, no, hold on, he didn't lie. He was arrested Friday. This just happened Monday.
which one?
The one with the 2 protesters, the man and the woman.
Oh,
Look,
they went
read it
back. That
closely. It
was the
says
second.
2
I
protesters were
apologize.
arrested Monday evening, and the mayor was arrested last week Friday.
That's correct. I apologize. I'm wrong.
I'm
That
glad
was
we
the
caught it.
first. Thank you. That was the first uh time that they went to the facility. Then there was a
Mhm.
second time after he was arrested that they went back. That's
That's
my
this
bad.
one.
That's my bad. I accept. Oh, here, wait. Let me hold on a minute. Tell me if you can hear this or not. Bad D. All right, there. I slapped myself twice. All right, sorry about that.
Hey, we
Uh,
all make mistakes. I've been there, done that.
yeah. Well, that's what happens when people mess with taking my shit and moving it to a different place. Anyway, no,
I
that's not your fault. I'm just making fun of
I
it.
was gonna say, all I did was move the links.
I
I didn't
know.
read them
I know.
beforehand. I had no clue what was in these.
I know. Um, but there was another video. I don't know if anybody follows him or not. I moved it to discuss when we do immigration. I watched
Mhm.
it today. He is up in New York. His name is Cash Jordan. I know you follow him as well.
Uh-huh.
And he just posted a longer video today about uh, immigration and what is going on. If you guys haven't seen any of his videos or followed him, I suggest you go take a look at what he's doing. He also talks about how people are protecting them when ICE goes into neighborhoods. The alarm goes up and people are hiding them, and it is just sheer craziness what is going on in New York, Virginia, Maryland, and ICE is trying to do their best. They all have sanctuary cities or a sanctuary state where they don't have detainers, and these people are in jail, and ICE could go get them from jail. Instead, what is being happening is they're being released into communities, and they're now finding that these gang members, are hiding in plain sight. They could be
Mhm.
your next door neighbor. They're living in the same apartments. It is just unacceptable. And
It's messed up.
there are people that are protecting them. And the question is why? That is the big question. Why are they being protected? Why are they afforded rights that, and we've gone into this before, uh, and there has been some additional arguments are being made about, and we'll get into that later when we do immigration, but
Yeah.
arguments about that they should not have due process. But that's for another time. But if you haven't watched anything of his, we'll discuss him in immigration. He started out as I found him because he was into real estate. And when my son moved up there, I was just fascinated with all the apartments and the buildings that they had. And
Hmm.
as the real estate market dropped and everything started to occur with them becoming a sanctuary city, he switched over to be a political commentator, and he now has over 1.3 million viewers. So he is doing a bang up job of covering what is going on up in New York and surrounding areas. But this fact that people are shielding them, I don't get it. Standing in front of facilities, blocking apartments for ICE to get in, just make it make sense. I think if you're being obstructive, I don't care if it's in a silent protest. If you're holding hands and barring someone from gaining access by an ambulance into a facility, arrest your ass.
Amen. Amen. I say the same thing.
I really, at this point, I'm done. I'm done with all this shit. Just
They all
arrest
need to
them.
just get arrested because they're, again, you have the right to protest within reason. You cannot
Right,
be blocking medical care or delivery of prisoners.
right.
Sorry.
And I want to know, like, what happened to that van with that prisoner, right? Where did they end up taking? I'm sure he
Oh, they
took
probably
it.
took him to some back
Yeah,
entrance or they took him down
right,
the road for a bit.
right.
And once it settled down, they brought him in.
Yeah. I mean, but like the woman blowing kisses into the van. Really?
To a potential
You know,
serial killer or
right.
murderer
I
or
mean,
cartel hitman.
it's like, why don't we arrest them, put them in a room, and show them pictures of what has been done to people? Do you think that would make a difference?
Why do you think I did an entire podcast on a former cartel member speaking out about it? I did like how many episodes on that? Back in November?
But
Or was it December?
while,
In January?
yeah, but
Yeah.
while you did it, we have a interested audience, right? That's interested in that.
Well, someone can
You're
take these and send it to them. Someone
right.
cyber stalk them, get their email and or their YouTube and refer it to them.
Hmm. I don't
I don't know what to
understand.
say.
I don't. Hmm.
I know.
This will be a very interesting case, I think, going forward. With what? Well, the other piece too of this I forgot about was, oh, sugar bucket balls. Uh, Hakeem Jeffries made a statement that said, just go ahead and put a hand and try to arrest one of them.
Uh huh.
See
Like
what
AOC.
happens. He goes, see what happens. The
Well, isn't
report,
that what Carmelo Anthony said just before he hurt that
yeah,
other kid?
yeah,
Touch me again, see what
right,
happens.
right. And
Touch me and see what happens, something like that.
right,
Yeah.
uh-huh,
Sounds really familiar.
yes, it does. And the reporter said to him, what do you mean by that? And he says, go ahead and touch them or try to arrest them and see what happens. So, what is that? FAFO? Huh? Is that, what are they going to do?
It's the illiterate version of FAFO.
Well, I'll see if I can find the Hakeem piece too, real quick.
And why is he still allowed in Congress after a threat like that?
Exactly.
I'm curious. Someone please tell me.
And again, I where have we seen a Republican make those statements?
I'm still waiting.
Okay.
Anybody feel free. And no, you cannot go back to the Civil War era. I'm talking in the last 50 or 60 years. We'll even go back 50, 60 years. Please tell me. I want
And
to cover
trust us. We we have we didn't even get into today was to be our additional corrupt
Oh yeah,
politicians
we had
that
more
we have.
stuff to cover.
Yeah, we have a lot. And we are working on still the Democrats, but trust us, we will be going Republican as well. So, as
Yes, we
we
do
said,
have quite a few of
yeah,
them lined up.
exactly. We are not biased by no means. And if they're in the wrong, they're getting called out just as much. So,
And I do apologize that it said Nancy Pelosi in the title. We were
well,
kind of aiming to get there, but you know what? Tomorrow.
yeah, there's part two. You know, here, we'll say her name. Today, we are going to be discussing Nancy Pelosi from the 1960s through present and all of the things that my girl did bad. So,
Oh,
with that,
yes.
yeah, so we have a lot to discuss about her. Uh, and we, to be quite on, I don't even know where to be. We did have a starting point and kind of an end point. There is so much in between. And because of that,
Yeah.
so much in between, if she isn't proof that we need term limits, along with some Republicans that we will identify, if they
One in
aren't
my
proof,
state, Turtle
yes,
Man.
if
Sorry.
maybe he could snap up one of them what were the camel spiders? Wonder if they eat them.
No, but you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember that Master of Disguise movie with what's his face back in the day? Was it Woody? It wasn't Woody Harrelson. It was the other one. Um, he was able to, change his. He was able to go through all these disguises, and he had a turtle one that reminds me of Mitch McConnell. I'm going to have to see if I can
See
find
if
a
you get a
picture of
pic.
it.
Yeah, and we'll do a
Hold
side
on.
by
Let me
side,
let me see if I can do a
a quick
hold on.
Google. But with if this is not proof that we need term limits, I don't know what is going to speak to it. I really don't. Here's me all day just saying I really don't know what I don't know what to
It's
say. With
Dana Carvey. Hold on. Let me
yeah,
enlarge this.
okay,
Hold on. Let me enlarge the image. Here, let me share this really quick with you guys. This is Mitch McConnell.
and JJ said I got it first, Crazy B. Oh my gosh,
Yes,
if
you
that
did. I was
isn't it?
typing it in. Isn't that Mitch McConnell?
Yes, it is.
Every time I see him, this is what I think of. Turtle, turtle, and he ducks his head down into
Uh
the
huh.
suit.
Yep.
And he bit someone too. And there was a scene where he bites someone. I can't show the video because,
Right.
all
We'll
kinds
get
of
right
copyright things.
copyright.
But yes,
That's funny as all hell.
I,
Can
I
you?
I wasn't joking when I said that.
Yeah. Can you pull up a copy of Mitch McConnell?
Oh, yeah, hold on. Let me pull up Mitch McConnell. Uh, all right. Uh, Actually, this one looks the best. Hold on. Oh, come on, enlarge it. Hold on. That. Oh, here it is. Okay, hold on 1 second. There we go. Um, this is Mitch McConnell. He looks
Oh
like the
yes,
turtle.
just an older version of Dana Carvey. That's pretty
I'm not
freaking epic.
joking.
That is pretty fun.
That's why that movie comes to mind. It's just an
Yes.
older version of
Uh huh.
Dana Carvey, and he
Yes, it
just needs a
is.
green suit.
and give them some a wolf spider and a camel spider. There you go.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Someone
gosh,
please.
that's too freaking funny. Well, before we close out, I would like to remind everybody to please like, follow, share, subscribe, comment, join our Discord. Uh, our numbers have plummeted for some reason, and we think we're being suppressed due to the topic.
Very much.
The numbers have plummeted.
The number ratio between clicks on the link to actual viewers that stayed is a almost identical ratio between each video. And it's like, huh, that's weird.
Yeah,
That's
something
not normal.
right. Something is amiss in River City. Uh, and then also, we'll have some more details probably next week. As I have previously mentioned, we are not accepting any monies from YouTube or Rumble or any other platform. You'll see on the screen right now what's that code called?
Cash App QR code.
Thank you. Cash App code. For our videos, Rumble would have paid us $1 for one video. $1.
If we
Plus,
get 1,000 views, it's $1.
correct. If we had 1,000 views, it would be $1. Plus, they take 30%. So, Crazy B and I effectively would have made 35 cents. So, if one person would give us $1 and another person would give us another dollar a day, we could each split 50 cents. As I mentioned, we're over a little bit $400 in the hole for having to buy the studio to produce the content, as well as to have some services that we can go and verify documentation. So I'll give a little bit more of that. You're probably going to hear a little bit more spiel asking for donations only because we're not seeking YouTube, Rumble, or we're also not taking on any sponsors as well. We want to try to be as unbiased and not be corrupted by anybody.
Beholden
So
to anyone.
there you go. Beholden is a good word. So with that, I'm done. So
I am starting to wheeze again, so
there
I've
you
got
go.
my nebulizer up to my face.
Okay. So that's it for today. And tomorrow we'll try to pick up where we were supposed to leave off.
With Carmelo Anthony and Nancy Pelosi.
Correct. And
Oh,
hopefully.
and the sleeping.
Oh, man, that would have been good. We need to.
That's
Yeah, we'll do that.
well,
Maybe
you
we'll.
got that tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Tune in tomorrow because there's some pretty hilarious footage on that. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that'll be fun. All right, everybody. So I'm out for today. Have a good
I
one.
am as well.
All right.
I will see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, stay sane, stay sober.
Good night, everybody.